Welcome to the video. Today we're playing Clue on the Nintendo Switch. We're going to be playing single player, and this video is just to kind of show you some of the basic strategies that I take into my games of Clue that give me the best chance of winning. For sure, there's no guaranteed way to win Clue ever because it always comes down to a little bit of luck, but this will give you a really good chance to impress your friends, give you a good chance to win. Today we're playing single player just so the game goes a bit quicker against the AI, but we're going to be playing on the hardest difficulty possible. As you can see, we're going to be playing as Colonel Mustard because of his mustache, and we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. Let me know down in the comments below as you watch this video if you find it helpful, if there's any tips that you like to use that I don't use. Yeah, let me know. We're going to be playing in the Tudor Mansion, which is like the standard basic theme. It doesn't really matter because all the room positioning stay the same. It just changes kind of the weapons and rooms and stuff that we see. So as you can see, we're playing with 6 players with the murder cards gone. So there's one suspect, one weapon, and one room that all go into the murder pile that nobody has. We have to guess what those cards are before anybody else. The rest of the cards are distributed amongst the rest of the players. So there's 18 cards left. By 6 players, there's 3. Each of us has 3 cards, and those cards are crossed off, as you can see on our clue sheet on the right. Then players go one by one, get to like throw up basically 3 different cards, one suspect, one weapon, one room, and then we go around in a circle, and you say if you have one of those cards, you have to show one of those cards to the person that guessed. And if you don't, you just say no. When you're playing on the Nintendo Switch, the no's are automatically logged. So as you can see, Scarlett went and she guessed Peacock, Wrench, Kitchen. Now we have Peacock, so we know that nobody is going to show Peacock at all. And then it went to Green and Peacock, and neither of them had any of the remaining cards, so they automatically got crossed off. And then Plum did have a card that he showed. So what I do when somebody shows like that is I go down, and because this is the first time that he's showing, I put a 1. So that tells me we don't know which one between the wrench and the kitchen, but he showed one of those, and so that's one of his 3 cards that he has. Of course, we have Peacock, so he couldn't have shown that, so that already gives us a little bit more information. So that was a very helpful first turn from Scarlett. Now the thing to remember is that that information is fairly common, so the only difference between what I know and everybody else knows is only that Scarlett knows exactly which card Plum showed, but everybody else has that same information that we just got there too. So there you see again, Green put up Orchid, Lead Pipe, and Dining Room. Peacock said no, and then Plum also has this card. Very interestingly, this was a completely different combination of cards than the first card he shows, so now we have information about his second card, which is great. Don't know which one of them they are yet, but as we go along, hopefully we'll be able to narrow it down a little bit more. You may notice at the start of the game, players typically start off in the middle of the board unless they've been accused, in which they get transported to a different room, which is why Peacock started off in the corner there. So again, Peacock proposes Green, Rope, and Study, and it goes around quite a decent amount all the way to Green, which is interesting. So lots of information that we gleaned there. And again, a lot of this information is common knowledge, so the hard AI difficulty is definitely scrambling, trying to find all those possible connections, just like we are. So we're by no means ahead, but we're just trying to stay active and really pay attention as the game goes along here. So here we are. He throws up Scarlet, Candlestick, Ballroom. We have Scarlet, so we have to show Scarlet. Now everybody else is guessing, so writing down of those cards that I just possibly could have shown, which one I might have. So they're trying to do the same thing and figure out what we have. We didn't get any information out of that turn, unfortunately. Now it's our turn. We're here in the middle of the board, and now we can go anywhere because we did a big roll. I like to go to the corners just because it really gives us a chance to use a secret passageway if we low roll, meaning we can always guess as opposed to being stuck in the middle of the board. I don't have a ton of information. Why don't we just go to the conservatory? In the first few turns, I like to ask about cards that I have absolutely no information. So, for example, I have no information about myself. I have no information about the candlestick, just to keep it simple, and I have no information about the conservatory, so we're going to try to pick up as much information as we can. There you have it. So that's one of Green's cards. He also showed it in a previous round, so now we have information about possibly his second card as well. Really trying to narrow things down a bit here, which is great. And in Clue, it doesn't matter if your character was the actual murderer and you guess. You don't lose if you were the murderer, for example, and somebody guesses you. So here, Scarlet showed either Hall, Revolver, or herself. We know that wasn't herself because we have that card. So she showed one of those two other cards for sure. So as you can see, we're just trying to pick up information. And what we're really trying to do here is, one, figure out all three cards that each player has, because if we have information about all three cards, then they can't possibly have any other cards. And then we're also just trying to really rule out as close as we can so that we can narrow down into suspect, weapon, and rooms. And the key here being that in Clue, you can only do your final accusation and possibly win at the end of your turn. So sometimes, especially like, you can get to a point where you don't know for certain and it's your turn, but if in a couple more turns with good guesses, the computer might be able to guess. And so when I'm playing with other people, I don't like to guess if I don't know, because that kind of ruins the fun. But when I'm just playing by myself and I want to win, I'll guess even if I don't have the exact answer. So here for learning, Scarlet guessed herself, dagger, library. We have Scarlet and we have library, so the only possible card that Peacock could have shown there was the dagger, which is great. That's free information just for us. That's awesome. Right, like that's like having another guess, being able to find out an exact card for sure with that. So that's very lucky on our parts that now we have at least one. And we didn't have any weapons cards, so it's good to kind of ground ourselves with at least one weapon card that we know for sure. And then here, so again, somebody went to the library. We have that card. So Peacock's second card is either Revolver or Green. Good. So here's Green's turn. He gets himself lead pipe, kitchen. And so Plum showed here. We know that Plum doesn't have Green from a previous round. And so this is an interesting combination, because he could have possibly shown lead pipe in a previous round, and he could have shown kitchen in a different previous round. So it's possible that he has both of those cards. It's possible that he only has one of those cards. We don't know for certain. So this is why I like to play it in the corners, because you can see Plum rolled a very low roll, and because if you're stuck in the sides and you can't get to another room easily, you just end up in like the middle of the hallway, and then you can't guess. And guessing is kind of the only real process that you can get additional information over the other players, because all the other turns are free. So here we are. I think we got moved down to the lounge at one point. No, we're actually up in the conservatory. So this is why using the secret passageway, for example, is helpful. We can still get to the billiards room from the conservatory, but we can also go to the lounge and keep our corner set up. So we really want to be guessing every turn. And we don't have any information about Plum, so I'm just going to see what we can get out of that. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to guess Wrench, because if we get all the way down to Plum, which is very unlikely, I want to know if he has that Wrench or not, because that will give me some information about his card variations. And see, we didn't get that far. All we did was pick up a Lounge there, which is a bit unfortunate, but we're still picking up rooms. We're still picking up information. Definitely need to keep paying attention here. So there you go again. So Orchid wasn't able to guess. So we're not able to get information off of her, but when she guesses, she gets to know the exact card that was shown. So she gets a little bit of an information advantage over the rest of the players. So to lose that guess, it certainly puts her at a disadvantage. So with this card, this is also interesting. So on this time, she showed either Billiards Room, Lead Pipe, or Plum. And we know that she doesn't show Lead Pipe because we know that she doesn't have it from a previous round. And we know one of her cards for sure. We know her second card was either Green or Revolver. And we know that this third card, because it's different, so for this turn, she must have shown either Billiard Room or Plum. So that's 3 cards. So she can't possibly have any other card that we don't like, that she hasn't possibly shown. There's no way. So we can cross off all of that information, which still leaves us with, you know, a bunch of gaps in our cards overall. But we're doing this process for everybody, and hopefully we can pick up enough information that we can be a bit more educated with our guesses and narrow things down even further. Here's Plum with the Revolver Study. Goes all the way around to Scarlet again. So Scarlet didn't show Study, because we know that she doesn't have that. She could have shown Revolver. She could have shown it a previous time. She could have shown Plum. And then also some other information that we picked up there is that Peacock does not have Plum. So she doesn't have that. So the only thing that she could have shown in that other round was the Billiards Room. Does that make sense? And then similarly, she did not have Revolver. So the only thing that she could have had was Green. And then Green did not show himself there. He only showed either the Rope or the Study. So we're already really narrowing down this information. We're getting close, even though we don't have a clear-cut candidate for any one yet. Peacock's going over to the Billiards Room. So this is helpful. So we know that Scarlet didn't show Green and that she didn't show Billiards Room. So she must have shown the Revolver there. Great. Which makes it unlikely that Scarlet showed Plum in a previous round because she has the Revolver, but it's certainly possible. There we go. So, big information. Depends on what card Plum has, because he might have the information that he needs for that. But we now know it was Plum. And this is all, like, the little X's are all computer driven. So everybody in the game knows that, which is unfortunate. Plum guessed candlestick, and the only thing that we don't know about the candlestick is him. So I'm wondering if he has that card, and he was trying to make sure that he could get more information about the suspect, for example. Similarly, it's possible that he has kitchen, because we've seen him possibly show it twice. So we're really close now. We kind of need to be able to be ready to guess here. And unfortunately, we can't go to either the study or the kitchen, which are the rooms that we're really thinking about right now. That's really unfortunate. We'll go to the dining room because we'll see how far we can get with that at least. So we know it's Plum. Everybody knows it's Plum. So we can guess Plum. That's fine. Sometimes when so I know that the computer knows this. When you're playing in person with people, somebody might not know that it's Plum yet. Somebody might not have been paying that close attention. And so if you know that it's something, it's sometimes not great to give it away. Sometimes it's better to guess, like for myself, either a Skull or a Peacock, a card that I know isn't out there, so I won't get caught up with somebody showing me that information that I don't need right now. And then giving away the Plum. So, but we're here now. I want to find out about the rope, I think. Because I'm guessing that Plum, with that guess, it looked like he had the candlestick. We just don't know yet. We're just kind of in a poor position here. So he does have rope. So at this stage of the game, you can see that we don't really have the weapon pegged down and we don't have the room pegged down. We certainly have prime candidates. Like it could be like the kitchen, the study. Like we just don't know yet. And so like even if I was just playing just to win, I'm not sure if I would hazard a guess because we just don't have that concrete information yet. We can make inferences and make a calculated, educated guess. But I think for the sake of this video, I'd rather we just keep playing, and even if we lose, that's okay. But then we kind of learn the process and see if we can get on the same page as whoever wins. Because I have a feeling in the next few turns, people are going to keep making smart guesses to really narrow down on the weapon and room, and then we might be left hanging here. But let's play it out. So Okert's going to the study, which is a room that I would have liked to have gone into. And you can see she's really narrowing down because she didn't have information about the rope there. Only we know that green has that rope. And we kind of wanted that information about the study. So what it makes it more likely is that he showed rope and that he doesn't have study since they were shown in the same turn previously. And so it's likely that we're looking at it being the study. We just don't know the weapon yet for sure. But people are starting to pick up that information that we have about that. So it's going to go to the conservatory, and green is going to show at least probably the conservatory. She also narrowed in the rope, so he could have shown either of those, but definitely everybody knows, like everybody's playing at Plum, everybody knows that Plum is the suspect here. We haven't picked up any new information too out of these last two guesses, so it might be able to come all the way around to us. We'll see. Oh, so there we are. So you can see again, this is all common information here that nobody has the candlestick. So everybody knows suspect, everybody knows weapon. People just need to figure out the room here. And certainly other people have different room cards. So like we only had a library, but somebody could have had, ballroom or hall and be making guesses and being able to rule out different guesses based off what cards they have. And so certainly it's possible that somebody has the information about the room more, like a bit better pegged down than what we have. But hopefully not. There you see it. So green's gonna make an accusation. Plum candlestick, study. And so this is what I'm saying, that green doesn't have study. Everybody else is wondering if he has study because he also showed it when he showed rope. He was at the advantage because he didn't have study, so he has like the study completely crossed off. He doesn't have the study, so he knows that he didn't show the study, and so that one square under green was study. He already has an X. He has all the other information that everybody else has about the study, meaning that the study's the room. So that's kind of a bit unfortunate for us that that's how it crumbled. We had a feeling that we were going to lose. It just needed a few more turns to go around, unfortunately, for everybody to have the same information. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned a little bit about the process. Like I said, there's certainly no guaranteed way of winning Clue, but you can see that we were really in it, had the right ideas, and just came up a little bit short. But I'll be posting a few more videos. Hopefully we can pick up a W somewhere along the line and keep learning from there. So let me know in the comments down below what you thought. Open to feedback about how helpful this was. If you need anything more explained, I can certainly help down in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot.